Welcome back to this B stream for DreamHack Valencia for the Rocket League Pro Circuit. My name is Stumpy, and I am joined by my boy Doomsy. We've just seen pretty scary game. We've just seen that teams are actually able to go out today. Childish Campaign, they're out. They are gone. Lost Potato, they are gone. They are out of here. If we can have a look at the groups, actually. We can actually go. Now, Doomsy, are there any surprises here, do you think? Or is this about how we'd expect?
No, I wouldn't say any surprises per se. So essentially how it is, any team that's lost twice now is now out of the tournament. So, you know, any teams that are 1-1, any game now they lose, they're done for. Childish Cam, Bim Bam. I guess that was, if of all the surprises, that might be the one.
Yeah.
Lost Potato, nothing too surprising there. Notorious Legion Esports, they're also out, and Bremen Esports are also out there. Vitality, Complexity, and Cloud9 are now through to tomorrow. So through to day 2.
And Complexity having to beat TSM, bear in mind. So Complexity had an incredibly tough opponent that they had to work their way through. That ended up being 3-2 to Complexity as well. So it was a very, very close series. In the end, though, obviously TSM now have been dropped down into this lower bracket. And it's exactly the game that we're going to be looking at. So we are actually going to be watching TSM versus Ground Zero. So I think we should do some predictions about this game. We sort of threw off the production before with our predictions, so we've fired that guy. We got a new one in, so hopefully it's all going to go a little bit smoother this time around. But Doomsy, who would you like to predict between Ground Zero and TSM?
So you know, I think I'm going to go with TSM here. TSM's been an interesting one because they haven't, you know, they didn't make RLCS. They lost out on that. In the playoffs, they haven't had, I guess, they may be slipping a little bit. They've had some really, really strong performances, and then slipped a bit here to here. But I think Ground Zero isn't really a team that can quite take them. If I think TSM would have to lower their level a bit, not play quite so well, and then Ground Zero would have to pick up the pace for it to be a bit more of an even match. But you know, I wouldn't be stunned to see Ground Zero, you know, take. For example.
Yeah, I think Complexity are a very strong side. The fact they beat TSM is pretty big. So I'm going to go TSM as well. That's my prediction. But we can go into the game. It's already begun. We are 12 seconds in. And Metsonorus has already secured his team the first goal. So they're already up. Our predictions are looking pretty strong. But I mean, Ground Zero, they've had a little bit of a journey to get here. Obviously, we casted them in the first game. That was 3-2 to Supply. So they couldn't quite finish that reverse sweep, which is a shame, our boys from Australia. However, they then did manage to beat Bremen Esports, who were 3-0 twice in a row and are now on the plane home. So TSM should, in theory,
they just put a cross down and walk straight to the air.
Yeah, they had a Cessna waiting outside. It was very efficient. But yeah, so TSM, they're already up. Ground Zero, though, I think we could see a decent result. Obviously, they didn't do horribly at Worlds. Obviously, they managed to be the second best team in Oceania. But when you're against shooting like this from Ignite and Metza previously, and Remco had a decent shot as well, you're going to struggle to do that.
Yeah, Ignite is you know, still to this day one of the most accurate players in Rocket League. He's always smacking it into the top corners. Always, I mean, he goes for a lot of shots. So maybe sometimes when he should pass, he'll be shooting. But the fact that he's so accurate means it's not too big of an issue. So look out for Ignite with the shooting as well.
I mean, we did see that he has had a little bit of an iffy couple of months with his shooting. He was still hitting it powerfully, but it was just not accurate. He was just hitting the post and the crossbar way more often than he should have been compared to what he was obviously at previously. So hopefully we're going to be seeing that he's a lot more accurate this time round, and he's not going to be just as maybe just power-minded rather than accuracy-minded.
Sure. I think sometimes, like, you got to recognize yourself. If you're not being accurate in your shots, like, just opt for passes more, or like a backboard play. You know, I think really good players understand that they're having maybe a bad day or something, and to let someone else take over a bit more. And you know, same if you're having a good day, opt for the shots as opposed to passes if you know that you're shooting on top of the form.
Yeah, I mean, their shooting does seem to be on pretty much top form here, as they are obviously 2-0 up with just around 3 minutes left. Are now going to try and go for something. Solo goes up, tries to drop it down. It's a little bit too high, so he couldn't quite secure it. Tricky on this backboard, defending against Metsonorus, but it still manages to go in the favour of TSM. Decker getting a nice block on again. Remco doing the nice back pass. Ness can get there. Back means that it's rolling towards your friendly player as opposed to rolling away, so at least it's going to be something that's going to come towards them rather than they have to chase.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about keeping possession a lot of the time. But however you can do that. Some of the weirdest passes can come out from, well, you know, crazy corner passes to a ceiling because a guy's on the ceiling. You know, I'll just send it to you up there. You know, as long as you can keep possession, it's great.
Blocking.
Just about to touch that.
Yeah, I thought that might be something a little bit awkward, but
yeah.
Decker, I think he was backwards and sideways, so I didn't have much hope that, of what he was going to do here. But Remco, lovely catch. He's just an awkward spot, leaves that near post a little bit more vulnerable than I think he expected. So obviously he's in an awkward position, not quite knowing where the goal is. Remco takes full advantage and can stunts it in the bottom corner. Yeah,
that was very well done. Jules' touch, unfortunately, you know, he was a bit overcommitted as third man, so his aerial went down straight to Remco essentially, and gave Remco all the time in the world he needed it. Great little 50 there. Got another fantastic save from Decker though.
He's doing well, Decker. He is doing well. I mean, I saw him when he was at Worlds and he was having a pretty decent performance. Obviously, I don't think they necessarily did it as well as they wanted to, Ground Zero, but ultimately that's still the hardest competition in the world for Rocket League. So just getting there is obviously an achievement, and they're the first team, other than, you know, like the Icon / Chiefs rosters, depending on whatever name they're going by at the time, to have made it to a World. So fair play to them.
I mean, their two matches were losing to they lost to G2 and Vitality 3-1. So like, you've got to play those two teams. It's kind of hard to.
Yeah, their group was pretty disgusting, seeing as they lost to just the two finalists.
Yeah, they lost to the two finalists. Like, good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're not seeing much offense coming from Ground Zero, being shut down a little bit early by TSM, who we said before about swarming playstyles. That is very much how TSM likes to do it, with Ignite just wanting to get in their face as much as possible. You see how early he's up to challenge that as well, coming off his own back corner to meet him in the mid. A lot of teams would have just waited for him to sort of get a little bit further on. Not Ignite. He wants to meet you as soon as possible.
Yeah, you gotta sometimes go for, as first man, it's all about challenging it as soon as possible. A great save from Ignite there, straight in the middle. He jumped again, another pre-jump save. You got to do that. I want to see these teams smack it bottom corner. Like, they have a shot, smack it bottom corner. I think it will really pay off, especially with these like a team like TSM.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's fair enough. Saved by I. Again, when you have that shot on target and it's still saved, that's when, I mean, at least when you're playing ranked, you're sort of like, oh god, right, okay, we can't win this. Like, these guys are they're quite good at Rocket League, really.
They're not too shabby.
They're all right.
That's why I have to throw it off the track.
Yeah. Well, there we are. 3-0 in this first game to TSM, taking it over Ground Zero. The boys from Europe beat out the boys from OCE. And remember, whoever ends up losing this series, they are out. So it's either TSM or it's Ground Zero who are going to be going home. One has a slightly further journey. Ground Zero are going to need to do like 2 layoffs or whatever. So, you know, I feel bad for them after having about 3 hours of competing and probably around 50 hours of traveling. So, you know, it's a shame that can happen. But either way, TSM looking pretty confident about what we'd expect, do you think?
Yeah, this is kind of similar. I feel like TSM need to be challenged more to really see what they're capable of. I think even just from what I've seen here, TSM are quite... their clears aren't the most extreme. You know, they're a bit more central, a bit further, a bit weaker compared to what like a team like Vitality would be doing. So I still think, you know, this is good enough for the stage for TSM. But obviously, like, hopefully we'll see if they can warm up and pick up the paces a bit more and get some stronger hits.
I mean, it seems to be like how they are comfortable playing, where obviously with Splice as well, they went 2-0 down. And then they started to turn it on. Couldn't quite shut that one out, however. So maybe they are a slow-burning team, but do slowly ramp up as you go. But I don't know if that's going to be particularly feasible when you're against TSM. I don't think they're going to let you in if you're warming up late and you've already let go of 2 chances, for instance. I think you're going to really struggle to get back into it at that point. Sure. However, Complexity, a very recent team, obviously, to get up into the RLCS from the rival series, they did just that. They managed to beat out TSM in the 5th game. So it's not like they are, impenetrable, and then it's not like they're unable to be beaten.
Bear in mind, last DreamHack in Dallas, TSM came second to Cloud9. They had a bit of a monstrous run, to be fair. They beat NRG 3-2, Mouse 3-2, EG 4-1, Renegades 3-2. So there's a few close games there, but overall, obviously, they beat some strong teams. So TSM, I think they're like LAN boys. I think they definitely take it to the next level a bit when they're playing in a LAN environment.
And then you look at their experience at Leipzig, which was pretty heartbreaking, where they didn't even make it to day 3. So and they got knocked out by a non-branded team as well. That was their first experience being under the TSM banner, and they got knocked out on day 2. So you have to think, have they now turned that round for the further DreamHacks? Obviously, Dallas is a prime example of yes, actually, they are such a strong team. Ended up losing to Cloud9, which is sort of expected almost. But game 2 is underway now. TSM 1-0 up. Are they able to continue that winning streak and send ground 0 home?
Good tackle there from Jules, using Metsunora.
That's cheeky. Oh, okay, that wasn't exactly the best touch by, I think it was Deku who ended up doing that. Siki, though, is up nice and early. Doesn't quite get a good lead on it, just sends it wide. Now Metsunora can get a booming clear towards Remco, who can then push it towards the centre, but Jules can get it even further away. It's the battle of the boomers at the moment. Ignite showing off his booming prowess as well. Trying to go for that smothering play that he loves to favour. Necker gets it central. Can Metza? No! Oh, God, that was nearly the read of the day.
I was very impressed with that read. It was a really, really difficult angle, really difficult bounce from the ceiling. So, 2 dimensions there, you have to read properly, and he still almost got it in.
Man, okay, that was a bit ridiculous. I want more of that Metsunora. I know that he's been a little bit down on himself and down on his ability recently. Which is obviously heartbreaking to see because Metsunora is one of the most perfect people ever to live. So it's a shame when he's obviously not feeling confident, but it looks like he is now. Siki, though. Surely that. Oh. No, Remco's there nice and early. And again for the block. That's okay. Jules.
They're saving each other. They're saving each other well here. Something like Metsunora's almost tried to recover, but just couldn't quite get up.
Yeah. There it is, though, with Siki getting the first goal on the board for ground 0 in this series. Passing from Jules, Decker getting the bump from Remco. Metz is just caught backwards. Can't quite get any further than just a near contact with the ball. And Siki is able to get ground 0 in the lead. And they are clinging on to life right now, hoping not to go out.
Yeah, that's a very well needed, very much needed goal for ground 0 there. And hopefully they are pressuring a lot more than TSM are, and it's been 2 minutes, so they've only really had one opportunity from TSM so far.
Metz tried to intercept one of those passes again, that reading play, couldn't quite get it though. Remco leaves it for Ignite, now it's a 1-on-1. But Jules up nice and far. I like that, I like how aggressive that is, not giving him any time to think about what he's going to do. As soon as he's on his hood, he just immediately then goes to tackle. Metza! Just so can't get it in that top corner.
Can't get it in. He's getting so close. Just needs to take. If he takes accuracy, just step further to the next level, then that could be 2 goals.
Both beautiful goals as well. Not just like he should. Because the thing is with those, I think they should be on target, but they could be expected to be scored, obviously.
The first one, sure. I feel like that second one is definitely,
that should be on target.
Should be a goal. Yeah. You'd be expecting to score those, at this level.
Yeah, that's fair. Good dunk by Ignite. Now the pressure is still on for TSM. A good bump away again by Ignite. Remco trying to get the hook shot. Can't make it. Gets it high in the air. Ignite!
Oh, it just
floats to the crossbar.
This post is getting abused by the ball.
Oh, the save again!
Yeah, they should get it in the corner or not straight at the keeper. TSM, they need to get its accuracy is killing them at the moment.
Yeah. This is very TSM from a few months ago. I thought they'd fix this at Dallas. Hopefully it's not a recurring issue. That wasn't on target again. But they're keeping the pressure on. Look, Metza, even though we had like 7 boosts.
Yeah, sure enough, sometimes you just get given a really, really easy goal, which you can't really miss if it's on the goal line, so to speak.
Oh, that's an unfortunate miss. Now, Jules in the mid maintains control and will be able to steal that boost away from them as well. Decker also on that back right boost for respawn. But already take sort of repeated section of high shots.
40 seconds there. I think they have to throw everything here, but watch out for a counter type from ground zero. That's what I think might happen if TSM can't quite get the accuracy underneath.
No boost, that bouncing central, that's such a bad landing as well! Decker! It's his landing as he goes, look, as he hits it, look, and he goes sideways.
Yeah. He just got, that was just the recovery thing there. If he landed properly, he could have turned and still got the ball. I don't think he doesn't need to rush quite so much, I think. But it's really hard as you're like rotating back as the ball's coming back as well.
But look, it's now 1-1, nearly a chance there as well for ground zero to take a game off. Good attempt for a bump there by Remco, so that's now central. Is there a defender to deal with this? Metza goes very high with it. Now Decker, can he get it across to Siki? Oh, that pixel of Ignite's bumper means that he can't. It's it down! Jules in a perfect position to get a shot there, but now we have entered overtime. Ground zero, their fingers still on the edge of this cliff. TSM stamping on them, saying, no, get off. We want to go to day 2. Leave us alone. This OT is what now stands in between a 2-0 or a 1-1 series.
This is where we'll see if both teams, how safe they want to play as third or how aggressive they want to do, if they want to end it now. TSM have been looking, they've been getting a lot more pressure in the last half of this match. So we'll see if they carry on. Staying back. Ignite gets to pop up. Oh, that's an uncharacteristic whiff. That is not a good whiff. That is awful from Remco there. That is quite unfortunate. I just don't think he expected Ignite to get the touch he quite needed.
But he had time.
He had time. I think he just got. That's the overtime pressure. That is. He just, maybe caught him off guard somewhat. He's going to be kicking himself after that one. That is, something that shouldn't be happening.
Very unfortunate by Remco.
Ground zero get the win though. They get a game. We're 1-1. So this is already quite close. Wow.
Yeah. So this is, I think, closer than we both anticipated. I thought it might be like a 3-0. But also, if we're going to be seeing errors like that from Remco come out and sort of this often, continue to happen rather, and sort of become often, then we might then start to see Ignite on Metza try to overcompensate for some of those errors. Hopefully that's a one-time thing, and Remco's going to get back into it nice and smoothly. But ground zero, happy they're going to have got that game. 1-1 now going into game number 3. 2 more games for each of these teams. It means they're secured for day number 2. And it should be TSM, the second place from last tournament. I think it would be a bit of a nightmare if it wasn't them.
Yeah, I think accuracy is throwing them off. There was a unfortunate whiff from Remco at the end there. I probably would see that very often. The pressure game seems to be like there was ground zero had a lot of pressure in the first half, and then it sort of switched more to TSM. So I think it's literally just the mechanical issues that's sort of affecting TSM at the moment.
Okay, well, can TSM secure themselves another game? Maybe get the pressure of game number 2 off themselves. Time will tell as Decker is immediately onto the offensive. Siki get a shot on target, but it bounces wide, and then Metza gets disabled. Jules' follow-up shot. Right,
that was
now.
so close. I mean, we talk about accuracy from TSM, and then the accuracy from Ground Zero. Quite get the clearing there. So when a clay just clips the ceiling, that's when it really it can change your entire counter-attack play.
Especially with this pre-jump nature that we've been seeing, that we've said about in like every game so far, is that if you've really pre-jumped for it, the adjustment to them sort of go off the ground a little bit to adjust for the ceiling hit. God, I made a right mince that sentence, but you know what I mean? Like sort of going off the ceiling, the ball hitting the ceiling, and then it not quite hitting it as you'd expect.
Yeah, for sure. Mesonora though also just hit the post again, and you know, it was quite an open, not open net, but there was enough space for him to. Lovely play there from Remco and Mesonora. Mesonora putting it in the perfect place. So Remco touches it up, Mesonora follows it up, takes 2 players out of the game. Remco just has a nice double shoot.
Yeah, good pass by Metz there, just trying to get it into a threatening position. Not necessarily expecting much to come off it. It seems like that's a lot of their TSM's game plan at the moment, where they'll centre it often as possible, just so it's a little bit scary, so that it needs to be dealt with by Ground Zero. They can't just ignore it and let it be.
Well, that's the thing. If they can get the okay, so this is the thing. This is the thing. Oh, we're gonna see it.
I don't know if there's a flip. Is it a doink? Right. Let's forward. Doink, 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 doink. Why would you flip?
Nah, you would flip that.
No, you wouldn't. If you were a true doinkster, you would not flip. Ah, terrible goal. It's still 1-0.
I think if you put it into positions where you're just so likely to score, because your accuracy is not great, like, you know, you might as well just keep passing and passing until something has really good.
But I mean, look, it's looking like TSM are being the dominant force here, and oh my god, that's got a lot of power on it. But Siki, that was way more power than I thought would come out from that hit. Yeah, from when it hit the post. It bounced out really far.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to read because it obviously just hit that corner bit, so it came out. So you've got to have like 3 players all just guessing different things.
But hey, now within 1, mate. Within 1 goal now for Ground Zero to make it up. But it was the overcommitment by TSM that even allowed that to happen.
Remco pushed up a bit too hard. He basically went for a challenge as opposed to just trying to fake challenge or shadow, and it's a bit difficult. Which is different because we've seen Argonite in that same position, but Argonite sort of opted to just turn around and shadow, play a bit more defensive, and then Remco sort of, in this instance, just challenged a bit too early. Didn't need to.
Remco going for his own half. Doesn't have a flip still. Jumped off the wall, but Jules able to get a central, but easier clear there for Ignite. The lands straight at Siki. Really good interception. So I think Jules as well. Oh, sorry.
It was going to be insane. Remco though, with a great shot off the wall, extending the lead by 2. Siki's clear wasn't the greatest there. I feel like Siki could have either taken a little bit of time to, try to control the ball maybe, or just, again, mechanics just put into a better position. But Remco again punishing that.
Able to punish
straight away
once again. Remco off that kickoff. So Ignite just letting it pop high. Decker comes in for a very, very close cheat. Can't quite make any contact with it either. Siki went for the side boost, which I think is fair, obviously, with the cheat, and then the side boost grab. And it's just been so fast. Over in literally a second. And TSM are up by 3 goals. And Jules, another one, though, he can't. Believes in Metsonoris to get a good goal there.
Good speed from Siki to get the double. Both missed. Good play from Metsonoris, a little bit slow to follow that up. But I mean, they don't, they're playing a bit more safer. They don't really need to. Oh! That is a great shot, but an even better save there from Siki, right on the goal line. That is lovely work.
That's confident Metzer as well. That's what we were talking about earlier. That is absolute, unbridled confidence from him.
The double.
Unfortunately, it hasn't gone in. Jules being intercepted by Metzer again. That confidence. It's so good seeing it on top 4.
Yeah, TSM when they're slowly playing a bit better now, and seeing a top form TSM is really lovely. Great speed from Remco there.
We're going to need to see 1 goal every 30-ish seconds from ground zero. It's taken them about 4 minutes to get 1 goal. So, not sure just how well they're going to do with that task, that mammoth task ahead of them. Sicky's going to give it a go.
Oh,
Decker
just too
can't
far.
quite get on the end. Get a battle build, mate.
Easy, yeah. For a
Again,
limousine.
that mid-aerial car switching.
Can you imagine? You just switch it mid-shot, extend your length of your car, man.
Yeah.
For an aerial. Dribble with an
could
octane.
extend the legs, mate.
Yeah, if you're center, yeah, it depends where it extends.
Exactly.
If it switches in the center, sure, it would be a double on.
Oh, Jules, I thought was going to get a beautiful air dribble, maybe with a bump on the end of it. Couldn't quite manage it though. And as we approach 30 seconds remaining, the hope for game 3 is dwindling for ground zero, looking to basically be over. But now we look forward to game number 4. Is it going to be an opportunity for TSM to shut out the series, send ground zero home? There's such high stakes in these still pretty early games. Like, bear in mind that this is the 3rd game for this team, but we've had other teams that have gone out by just playing 2. Like, that's so quick in your Valencia journey, and it's a shame that some teams have made all that effort to get here, and then we'll be going out this soon. But ground zero hoping now not one of those statistics.
It's just it's the nature of the game, isn't it? It can be a cool mixture, which is why this is what separates the men from the boys, as they say.
Indeed.
But you know, ground zero, they were, you know, the game they won. Accuracy problems from TSM, not, you know, some uncharacteristic whiffs. But this game, TSM, you know, they fixed those issues a lot more. The accuracy was just slowly ramping up as they went in, giving themselves some good passes to make their shots a lot easier, so they don't have to be as accurate. And ground zero couldn't just quite deal with that. They did make some great saves though. We saw that great save from Jules, right in the middle, like a great aerial from Norris, and Jules just jumped to the perfect spot to save it. So moments like that, but you know, you can save 1, but then let in 2, you know, you're already down by 2 goals. So.
Yeah, I mean, also getting those shots off for Metz is going to be huge for the confidence, just generally, I think, of TSM. Even if they're not necessarily landing, it just means that he's at least thinking, oh, I am capable of doing that. I am capable of doing it this well. I mean, Jules as well. It sort of adds confidence to both sides almost. Where he's like, well, if I can save that, why couldn't we save something earlier? Let's just sort out how we're rotating. Let's sort out where we're coming from, sort of towards the back line, so that we're not necessarily just leaving it fully open, so that there can be sort of runaway shots. But otherwise, game number 4 could be the decider. Could be the one for TSM in order for them to be going through to day number 2.
Yeah, TSM are going to want to just nail this in the coffin right now. And if they retain that accuracy that they had from the end of the last game, you know, this should be a good play for TSM. But it's all about, I think this is up to ground zero now. But with a start like that, it doesn't look promising. Ground zero just flopping about a little bit. Sicky 50 isn't quite good. It was a good dunk from Remco, not quite. He just couldn't quite get the angle of it. He was coming from too much of an angle, didn't come direct enough, and then they were punished for it.
It's those two light touches that just mean that that ground zero gets so easily swarmed, which is obviously not going to want to be doing. Metzer, I thought might have still had a flip, but he didn't have it, or just didn't have to use it.
Don't want to use it, mate. Doesn't need it.
Doesn't need it.
Oh, that 50
though. That is a challenge for the ages from Sicky off this corner as well. Ignite not opting to go for something booming, instead goes for something close, and he gets punished for it. As ground zero end up equalizing after 40-ish seconds.
So that's what they need to do, right? They just need to make random 50-50s and pinch it and easy. That's just ground zero, you know.
That's another one.
There you go then. What?
Wow, Decker put that unnecessarily in the top corner.
Well, you know,
that worried me.
Showcase that thing. You got to take heck. That's how you do it, dude.
There it is. Bam, top corner.
Great play around though from Sicky, taking around Metz and Norris. I mean, Metz he has to go for it, obviously. So that's good speed from the ground zero there.
But now the lead has been established for ground zero, something that we rarely see. I don't think we've seen it yet, actually, in this series. So ground zero are up just by the one goal.
We must have technically, because ground zero won, but they won it overtime.
Yeah.
You count that, or?
No, because I guess they wouldn't have been up for any more than point whatever of a second. But you know what? Screw that game, mate. Because ground zero, they're 2 goals up. We've never seen them 2 goals up, Doomsy.
Okay, no, that's true. We've never seen them 2 goals up. That is great placement.
Oh, off that crossbar as well.
The corner. Even 2 goalies couldn't save that, so well done, team.
This is looking like the ground zero. We said that they warm up and they gradually get themselves there. I didn't think TSM would let them in, but turns out ground zero aren't giving them the option of letting them in. They are just taking it straight to them. All these passing plays as well are doing them so much good. They're making it so everything they do is completely unpredictable.
Yeah, it's all about maintaining pressure, and they're doing it a lot better than before. Spacing out as well, making sure that TSM can't. You know, if you give TSM the space on the ball, they will do a lot of damage with it. That was a very soft touch there. I don't know if he wanted to make it that soft, but.
Go on. I thought Decker might have had a flip reset there.
Yeah,
off his original save.
Just get it.
Go on, just do it. Even if it literally screws your team over, do it.
It'll
look cool.
That's rule number 4, right?
Exactly, yeah. Even if it keeps you off the ground for longer than you want to, use the flip reset.
Absolutely. Actually, you saved that for a wave now.
See, I'm an idiot, so I can't do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know, it's a drama, isn't it? Nice. That's
that
a
is
very...
a 50.
Oh my gosh, is somebody there? Please finish it.
They just weren't expecting that, which I guess was understandable.
Oh, that would have been a beautiful setup. They're getting a little bit scrambly now, TSM. They're just trying to go for absolutely anything they can.
Yeah, maybe a little bit stuck panic because they need a goal.
That's good.
That's great save. I don't know if it's going to bar down or not, but it doesn't matter. Metz gets his goal, closing the lead by 1. And yeah, Jules just couldn't quite get the power. He got the save, but when he's on the crossbar like that, you can't really get the power because he probably couldn't even flip because he'd already been in the air.
He just sort of fallen off.
So it's that's really difficult trying to get it.
It's one of those awkward ones where you hit it with your roof instead of hitting it with the nose of your car, so it just sort of like bounces off it as if it was just a crossbar or something.
Yeah.
Not ideal, but now TSM are within 1. I can't quite get the shot off. From Kulompu's going to have to retreat to let another member in. I'm going to start going up for that, but Metzer stays there instead. Goes central, as I was saying before. They go for some of these passes when there's nobody there, but sometimes they'll work.
That's their second man at the moment isn't really being there for the first man. They're sort of weirdly playing, not safe, I guess a little bit safe, but you know, they need to get a goal back. They don't have to play that. I mean, I guess there's 2 minutes left, but you know, that second man doesn't need to be that safe. He needs to be there for the first man. If you've got a third man back, it's fine. That's the whole point.
Wise words there. Doomsday.
Wise words from Doomsday.
Nice. Hey, look, we're seeing 1.5 minutes remain. Ground Zero are still in the lead. They just want to extend this as much as possible or keep shutting out TSM. Now Siki has a chance.
Oh, what is that save? I've got to say, today we are seeing sensational saves.
They are. What a sensational save.
That's
Not
quite
quite
finished. There it is.
I was worried, but this time the post is run a lot nicer. Ignite sabotaging his team. Jules can sink it in after it goes off the post with the pass from Decker. Now there's 2 goals in it once again. Ground Zero looking to take TSM to game 5. This is such a strong team coming out from OCE, and that region just generally is just growing and getting stronger. I mean, we've got some of the other OCE guys later. We have
a goal. That's all we have.
We have a goal.
Ground Zero. We have Siki scoring a goal. He's saying, "Stumpy, we didn't care what the other OCE teams."
Sorry,
we're Ground Zero, baby. And,
sorry, Ground Zero.
Siki gets a lovely little touch over TSM's third man. So well done there.
Yeah, I mean, OCE as a region, like I was saying, it is developing so quickly. Since they had their an okay start in season 3 of RLCS, I think it was. And then since then, they've just been growing and growing and growing. We've had a top 4 finish previously from the old Chiefs roster as well. So it's not like they are a region that is just sort of not doing as well as people would want them to. They are really, really extending well into the realms of taking down these big top teams. So Ground Zero are just on that list now of the teams that are doing incredibly well.
Yeah, this is a much better showing for Ground Zero as the series has gone on. Chiefs, by the way, is the other team that are playing.
Yeah, I was thinking Chiefs and Renegades, who had already seen. Well, Renegades already seen, but Chiefs have seen. Let's pop. Can't quite go anywhere. There's 20 seconds now. This game looking more than locked in for Ground Zero. Looking like game 5 is going to be the one. Now, are they able to secure the game 5 when they were unable to against Slice? And remember, whoever loses this, they're out of there. They go out, and what? That is a lovely pass from Remco, from the ceiling as well.
The ceiling, we're saying, weren't we? The ceiling passes are coming out a lot more. Like, he just slams it straight up at the ceiling, and it works really well.
Read.
Ceiling passes or shots are really hard to read if you're directly below it, and like you're trying to get some sort of error.
Because the camera angle is just so awkward.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it 4-5. Can't quite. Nah, can't quite. But round 0 are going to be the winners of game number 4. Now, chat, are you more confident in TSM for game 5, or are you more confident in ground 0 of game number 5? I want to see what you guys think. I am still, I think, on the side of TSM here. I think they can close it out. I think they have the mic to.
It's interesting because it seems to be each game like one team steps up, and then they go, okay, then we'll step up the next game, and it just goes like this and like this. So if the pattern continues, maybe TSM will step up. But I mean, how much further can they step up? You know, in a single series, we'll have to see.
It's that slow burn though, isn't it? By ground 0. I mean, we've got predictions at the bottom again. Things are you going for?
The game 5. I like this. We have game 5 predictions.
Game 5 predictions.
I'll go with TSM on this one.
Okay.
I'll go with TSM. I think this game was more ground 0 outplaying TSM. Mm-hmm. I think TSM should just chokehold them. I think if they want to do it, just be a bit more. That second man needs to come up a lot more. First man and second man, and then bring the third man a little bit further back. Rotate as fast as possible from the first, because at the moment the third man gets on his own a little too long, and you think, well, why is there no one?
Or just isn't coming in. Like, just straight up, it isn't even coming into the play, and then it's just sort of being in an awkward position.
Yeah.
And then any open nets aren't able to be scored. But who cares about open nets? When we're in game 5, ground 0 might be able to send TSM, one of the greatest teams in Europe, home on day 1 after just 3 series. TSM are wanting to stem that flow. Are they able to? Chat seems confident TSM are going to be winning this. Let's see what ends up happening.
Jules off the ceiling, an infield pass. It's in defensive zone. Oh, there was like 3 touches there. You know, he doesn't care about 1 touch. He wants 3 touches just to defend. That was good play there. Very back and forth at the moment. But it seems to be somewhat controlled.
Nearly. I thought I might just about sneak in the near post, but not quite.
Defending there from Metz. Good idea from Metz there. There's always another player back. Oh, good defending there from Decker. But TSM seems to have the pressure a lot in this first minute and a half. But just let's say that ground 0 getting the pressure back.
Yes, they're not shutting down ground 0 quite as much as I think they'd want to. But they're dealing with the pressure. So look at that 1 touch gets round the side of him and then flicks it still. Siki is really doing well with these defensive plays. Now Jules tries to work his way back. Still 60 boost for Siki. And a wide touch. Does land central though. Metzenorf does just about get to it. Getting here to it. No, not quite. But Siki can drop it down to Decker. I'm so happy. Oh, I thought that was going to come a little bit further across. Didn't quite. That's on target. Jules, though, is not able to score. Siki sends it across the goal. 2 are up for that. Oh, can Siki get it off the ceiling? Yes, he can, but Decker was bumped. What a nightmare. Jules, ceiling again. Metzer gets to the side, and now Siki needs to do something special here. It gets onto it. Jules should be coming in there because Siki is able to get on his way back. Now it's a 3v1. Oh,
good play there from Siki. Just puts him slowly in the corner, giving his team time.
Demo.
And on the back on the counter play. Lovely 1-2.
There's a few double commits though coming out from Ignite and one of his teammates.
In a weird way, it's kind of nice because it means that they're going for it more. You know, like they're not being afraid so much now and like keeping the 2 players back all the time. So as long as they don't do it at like the worst time, then you know it's a good sign. in a strange way.
I mean, honestly. Oh, that's nearly in, and Ignite clears it away. It's again just going off the crossbar. That lovely pass was Jules, but now cleared off the crossbar by Ignite. Decker. He is. Oh, that's over. All three have committed to that. That's not what we want to see. Sicky high once again. But TSM are not starting the boost. They're not going to be falling for the tricks too much. They're going to be able to get these. Now Sicky across the Decker. The shot nearly comes out. I'm loving that ambition and those attempts at plays. Ignite can't quite get the bump on the defender. He now can go for something long. The open net is not quite capitalized on now. Ignite on that right-hand side. Jules blocks it out away from Metanora's. Remco in the middle towards Sicky, who then gets it far once again. Decker. Oh my god, there's so much defense having to come out here from TSM in really, really scary moments.
It seems very panicky, this match, from both teams, particularly from TSM though. They just got to rush into balls a lot, which I guess, is they need to go in that direction, but I don't know if they're pushing it too far now. They're going, but it's a bit scrappy. The possession game is going back and forth between the two teams.
Yeah.
Very weird, not because one of them's tackling the other, but because they're just giving it away, both sides.
Reminder to everybody, whoever wins this is going day 2. It will be going home. So this is all or nothing. This is do or die. Both teams involved. And it could come down to an overtime. Rolls is up, catches it nicely. Remco very, very well put into that corner. Get the second touch as well. Good idea to go for it. Now, Sicky to Jules!
Oh, the save!
It's nearly in! That's nearly the goal to secure it!
As well, but Remco's still got the save. Unbelievable.
Falling out of my seat here. Remco jumped early. Decker very high. Jules drops it. That's on target.
Got it.
Oh
Good
my
pass
god.
back there. Ground Zero seems to be threatening TSM quite a lot here.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh Decker. Good. It's overtime. This is game 5 overtime.
It's overtime.
Do or die. Doomsy, you still confident with TSM?
No, not really actually.
Let's go for Ground Zero.
Ground Zero are playing better at the moment. They're pressuring a lot more and they're getting way more opportunities. They're not giving away their position so much.
They're not. They're doing
a
really
little bit
well.
more composed. TSM looking really panicky right now.
That is a great demo by Decker on Remco. Just clears out that back line. A little bit more. Decker now can push this as I think it was Remco and Metzer getting into the way. So Metzer and Ignite getting each other's way. Now Jules not quite able to get to that. Metzer again rushing to that ball, which then just means it could be a decent little clear from Ground Zero. Decker, central, but Metzer can get to it. Metzer doesn't opt to go for the fight, then get the double touch.
Metzer just giving it away into the middle there. I didn't quite have the boost to really do too much else. But he could have stayed for a 50.
Decker is low on boost, and Metzer completely misses it, giving Sicky all the time in the world to deal with this, and then stays up for the pinch. Oh my god, imagine if Ignite missed that and did a Remco.
Did a Remco, is that what it's called?
Yeah. The double demo, by the way, for Remco and Ignite getting out, taking out Sicky and Decker, but now they're already back into it. That's the one, nearly the second touch. That would have been a great pass over towards Sicky, but now Remco is on this, going to go for that ground pinch, can't quite make it. That double second contest is fantastic.
Oh, that's a gorgeous pinch pass.
To Decker.
Oh, woo! I mean, that was a perfect pass. The speed that he got from pinching it with his chin was fantastic.
That would have been lethal if that was on target. Just both of these teams hunting for that killing blow. Decker not able to connect. He's got a lot of boost here though, Sicky. He can get a couple touches.
Wasted that.
Jules lofted high, but Ignite there again, intercepting a lot of these passes really well, really early. Remco has finally a chance, goes for the tap and smash, but Jules can get it away from that crossbar, but it's still in a very dangerous position. Metzer lost it over the top, that's one. Nearly the second with the dunk. Jules can control this, but Remco again going for these challenges in the opposing third is really helping out. That's on target, but Jules is there to block.
TSM are picking up a little bit more now. They're playing with each other a bit more. Their defense is a little bit scrappy and their midfield play is a bit scrappy, but when they got the pressure, they look a lot better. That's where they're most comfortable. That's always bumping Ignite into the boost.
Yeah.
Not what you wanted to do.
Good.
The wave dash pass.
That's a good idea. Decker now drops it central, but he's not able to get it to friendly player. Remco with a long shot. I like that, just trying to go for something when it looks maybe a little bit sort of light on the back end. It means that then they need to rush back, they need to hit that ball. Going to bounce low, is a player there, but no! It's got to make a good contact. This is now approaching the 3-minute mark of a do-or-die overtime. The double bump. I like that idea from Remco again, though. There's so many things that he's trying out. They're just not quite landing perfectly. If he keeps going for them, I think they're going to be integral to a goal.
Absolutely.
Lovely drop. That's enormous.
Lovely block.
Oh, Zicky. With a...
The defense is coming in strong from Ground Zero. They're getting some good saves. TSM have to bring out something a little bit more special if they're going to want to win this series.
Oh my gosh. 3.5 minutes have passed. A demo in midair.
Another demo.
Zicky on Ignite. I thought that was going to go in, but it doesn't quite. Metanora's keeping that pressure on in this last third. Decker up once. Nearly up again, but Ignite is able to intercept. Wolf getting in the way. Zicky trying to clear as often as possible. Decker is up nice and quick, but Ignite has got patience there. I like that. That was a great idea.
He's their patient there. He's doing that a lot as third man. He's not rushing anything too much. It's a good thing.
That's going to be on target. Ignite again. It seems like Metsanora is always cool with his pants down, like every couple of shots when it's on target. That's an open goal though, as Decker's there! Oh! You can save it away! That is so risky waiting.
I mean, that is the guts there. You know what? I think it's going to hit. I think it's going to hit the crossbar there.
Oh, it's wide again. Decker's there. They can get a pinch out. They're keeping that pressure on. The miss though. Zicky is there. Can get it out the way. Decker going to go high with it. Decent idea. I like it. Every single time I've seen them, they're going to say different. That's on target! Jules! Round 0. Knock TSM out of DreamHack Valencia. It went nearly to 5 minutes in game number 5, but Ground 0 are going to day number 2, and TSM are going to be getting on that plane.
Oh my
OCE is so strong right now.
That was a fantastic series. Grounds, it was so back and forth. It was proper Rocket League. It was so each game, like a team would say something, the other one would reply, and it was just back and forth and back and forth. And at the end, like Ground Zero had so much pressure, and then TSM were just like, all right, next 2 minutes we're gonna have all the pressure, and it was just save. But then right at the end, Jules had some fantastic speed to take out Metanora's, and that isn't an easy thing to read. That corner bounce as well. So very well played, Ground Zero.
That was so well deserved as well. I mean, look. Me and Doomsy didn't believe that Ground Zero could do it. And I wish we could. I wish we did believe that. But anybody in chat who said that there was going to be a Ground Zero win here, pat yourselves on the back. You've done it. You did well. You're better than us. That is definitely a match for the ages. That's now 2 disappointing finishes for TSM at 2 out of the 3 DreamHacks. Leipzig didn't go well. This hasn't gone well. And in Dallas, they got second. So I don't really know where they land when it comes down to being land boys, to be honest.
Inconsistent, I guess, is the thing that we can say.
Yeah.
TSM, you know, they have to, I guess, look to see what is that's going wrong. I think there's something going on with their defensive speed. They can maintain pressure. Their strongest is when they are pressuring. Their midfield game though, and playing with each other in the midfield needs some work as well. But Ground Zero, all credit to them. They did really well today. They kept improving. They just literally got better and better as it went on. And to be able to pressure TSM as well is no easy feat. So they were doing that for very long periods of time.
That's definitely some of the best OCE Rocket League I think I've seen. It sort of heralds back to the days of like a season 5 Chiefs or something, where they were just that strong and getting those like top 4 finishes. We are going to be going to a break now, however, after watching that game. I'm going to refill my water bottle because I have been just sweating so much because of these. We are going to be looking at Triple Trouble versus Renegades, yet another OCE EU matchup. Whoever wins is going to go through to day 2. And whoever loses will be going home. We will join you very, very shortly after this break.